Alrighty, so here is that 2025 Tahoe RST. Very nice vehicle. I'm going to walk you around it inside out, show you how she looks. Now, of course, starting at the big stuff, so 22-inch wheels. Does have the factory boards on it. Wheels got a very minor little scratch right there. And I'm sure you can see some there. I'm sure I can get my wheel guy to touch that up next time he's in. Tires are honestly exactly where I would expect them to be with 20,000 miles on it. My last Tahoe that I personally owned, we did tires on it right at about 50. So these are, you know, where I would expect them to be. They're right around that halfway mark. And they do definitely all match on this side at least, as far as tread depth and that sort of thing. So starting right up front here, of course, being an RST, it essentially is a chrome delete pack. So you're going to see all blacked out front end, blacked out name badging, all of your molding around the windows is all blacked out. It does have front park sensors on it. You can see these guys here. And since it's got the pair over here on the side, that tells me it has the ability to park itself. I'll show you that when we get inside. You'll see kind of what I would expect, the little normal handful of little stone chips across that front bumper. That is just a bug, don't worry about that. I apologize, my guys didn't get it off when I told them to give it a quick wash job so I could shoot a video for it. You can see just a handful of little stone chippies, nothing too major. And then I always check the edge of the hood because that's the other spot you'll tend to see a lot. And I'm probably going to end up getting this car at least partially buffed. You can see like right through here, whoever owned it definitely spent some time in a car wash with it, because it's got a lot of the little, just like micro, little bitty small car wash scratches in it. And there's a spot there and right there of sap, so we'll get that off of there too. And coming on around here to the passenger side, just a very slight bit of misalignment there, but definitely still within what I would call within specs. And you can see that side does kind of the same thing. Maybe a little bit more pronounced over here, but it's definitely probably what I would call within spec. That wheel there looks good. Tires feel the same as they did on the other side. Let's take a peek down the body lines here. I don't see any dings or anything on this side. You can see what I was talking about with those blacked out name badges, and then all your window trim here, up there, roof rack, everything's blacked out as well. It does have the factory floor liners up front, power seat on both sides, and of course being an RST, you get that little bit of red accenting on the side of the seat over here, and then also up there as well. Now this does of course have the Bose audio system. And you'll notice a couple of books in here. I'll go over that a little bit more. We do not give you the big thick owner's manual anymore. And then back here in your second row, we do have liners. We have the third row liner. And then we do of course have the captain's chairs back here. Now of course these guys do flip up when you've got folks back here. But when you collapse them down, they'll flop down like that. Now if I pull this handle here twice, it'll flip up. That's your access in and out of the third row. And then also one thing that is very nice, you can see here, this seat's way farther up than that one. So this front handle is actually slides. So we pull that and the seat will slide back, giving us quite a bit more leg room here. So it's all about where you need the leg room. Now, also we do have separate climate back here. We've got heated seats, you've got USB-Cs for charging, and then right down here you'll see you do have a 110. Now this vehicle is equipped with the sunroof. We'll talk a little more about that when I get up to the front. It does have one slight little paint chip right there, which that won't be a big deal. We'll get the paint touch-up guy to hit that for me. Of course, being an RST, it's got the quad exhaust showing. And honestly, like most of these, you can see just a handful of little scratches and stuff right along the very top edge of this paint here. It makes a huge difference by having this plastic up here, but you can still see just a little bit. And of course, it's got a handful of it in the plastic, but that's just from nature of the beast with loading and unloading stuff out of it. Of course, we do have a power lift gate. You can see the carpet mats are laying right here. Additional storage underneath. And then what's back here, we also do have a 110 back here, as well as second row seats and our third row seats. So we can actually collapse everything down from back here. The third row is actually power up and down. Now I will tell you, on this side, it's gonna hit the back of that seat because I slid it all the way forward. So the walls are pretty clean. You can see a couple little minor scratches right up there. And honestly, other than that, she's pretty clean on this side. A couple little small ones there, and then a little spot right there. And again, that's just loading and unloading stuff. It's very typical for these big SUVs to come in like that. The back plastic here actually looks pretty darn nice. So now, of course, one thing a lot of my customers do not realize is with Tahoe, Suburban, Yukon, we do still keep the glass separate. So over here to the side, there's actually another button, and that is your rear glass. It comes in real handy if you're going on family vacation to load it up a little bit, close the gate, and then you can continue to load if you need to. Now, of course, coming down the driver's side here, capless gas. Being a 6.2, it is going to be recommended premium fuel for maximum performance. I don't see any dings on this side either. And of course, it's a black car, so there is a couple little small light scratches here or there, but nothing nothing terrible. Seat looks great. Little bitty small scratch right there. Now, of course, this will have the side blind zone in the mirror. It does have the camera right there, so it will have the surround vision on it. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit too. Memory seating, of course. We do have our power flip-in mirrors. So you see they'll tuck right up against the side of the car. It does come in kind of handy if you're in a tighter parking spot. And now, of course, the biggest advantage to the 25s, you have the new interior. Now, honestly, everything back there is the exact same. It's the two big, massive screens that are the big difference. So let's start right over here. We do have our 360 camera button. You can operate this at low speeds in drive. So if I hit that, you'll see we have front. And then if I go to standard view here, we get a full 360 view. There's our rear camera, overhead. Oops, sorry, I have a habit. The power button is a flat button right there, and I have a habit of hitting that on accident. There we go. So overhead, you get a nice zoom down view. You do have the ability to toggle between front or rear cameras. Side, same thing. That's going to make sure we don't take out one of those nice wheels. And then also over here, we have our shutoff for the park sensors front and rear. We have our, let me zoom in here just a little bit, make it a little easier on you. Right next to that, we do have override for the start stop. We have our lane departure, lane keep. This is our self-parking button. So if I hit that, you'll see over here on the main screen, we get, hey, how do you want to park? Are we exiting a parking spot or are we parking? So they give you the little diagrams. You pick out which one you need. Drive by the spot very slowly. Once the car picks it up, it'll handle it from there. Downhill assist control, traction control, of course our parking brake. Right down from that, we have our four-wheel drive. Right here is our mode selector if we turn this dial. And you'll see, right there, we get our tow haul mode, trailering, off-road, sport mode, and then normal. Now, right below that, the bottom part of this button is actually our air ride suspension. So this does have the adaptive air ride. So we can actually increase and decrease the height of where the vehicle is sitting. This does have the ability to the easy exit, so you can, once you shut the vehicle off, it will lower the vehicle down for you so you can get in and out a little easier. Brightness for the 2 massive screens, headlight, fog lights, and then of course we have our trailer brake controller right in there. Now, zoom back out here, you'll see wipers are on this hand just like they've always been. Cruise control. Over here we have our heated wheel. This button here I really like because it actually changes what we're seeing up here. So we can change the gauge layout, but we can also shoot the Google Maps right up there. Now, you would have the remainder of factory trials for the Google Maps, which on a 25 is 8 years, so you got a long time left of that. Safety alert screen. You could have basically nothing up there if you prefer it that way. And then back to kind of that normal screen. Of course, right next to that we have our heated wheel, phone controls, assistant, so that can either be Google Assistant, or if you press and hold it, you can get Siri if you're on an iPhone. Music. And then over here on this main screen, the other big thing is this new shifter. So foot on the brake, we simply pull it back at us and down for drive. We pull it back at us and up for reverse. And park is simply this big chrome button right here on the very end. Once you're used to it, you really will find that you honestly do not think about it all that much. It does take, a couple days to kind of get the handle on it as far as, what you're doing and not having to really think about it at all. But I'm just spinning around here just a touch so that I can get the sun off the screen a little better. So this is our basic radio screen. Now, this radio is capable of a ton of different stuff. But what I always tell folks is once it's set up for you, literally that like 5 or 6 buttons right there in the very top is what you're going to use every day or most days. So next to that, we have our split screen. So we have nav running on the one side, radio on the other side, our radio screen. Next to that is our Google Maps. Right there would be your phone once we pair it up. And then the button next to that is controls. So this is a lot of the stuff that we used to have physical buttons for that we've eliminated those and put them onto the screen. Now, of course, down here across the bottom, you'll see our climate on each side. You do still have physical buttons. The only thing you have to use through the screen is right here, and that's just simply where the air is coming out of. So if I want it on my face and on my feet, we just simply hit them both. Okay, these are your heated seat controls for each side. Now, also in this main screen, we do have access to a ton of different information. So vehicle status, this is a lot of the trips, the maintenance stuff, so tire pressures, oil lives, all that kind of stuff is in here. Also gauges, so if you are towing or whatever, you can see all your different temps that are in there. And then your trip is also right here as well. Now, one thing that is really slick with this new screen, like I said, right here in your My Chevrolet is actually where you're going to access your owner's manual. And bear with me, out here in the middle of the cornfield, we do not have the fastest internet you've ever seen, so it does take a few seconds to load everything up. If it doesn't pop up here quick, I'm just going to hit the home button. Yeah, it'll come up, I promise you, but your owner's manual is actually in there. Google Assistant, Play Store, we do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto still. Camera, we've already been in there playing around. We have the ability to control your Alexa from here. You have trailering screen. Now, the one thing that is really slick in here is trailer light test. So if you're somebody that does do some trailering, hook your trailer up, hit the start light test, boom, everything's ready to go. You will see you have boat ramp assist as well as a combination gross vehicle weight alert. So if you get overloaded, it will actually let you know that. Auto park, we've already played with. Climate control, of course. And then through here, basic radio screen, Google Maps, as well as your phone and controls that we've already been in. Now, up top here, we do have a whole variety of buttons. So this one right here actually controls our center console. I'll show you that here in just a split second. Or sorry, this is the shade for the sunroof. This is the center console button. And then these two are sunroof controls, as well as we do have our third row seats right here on each side and power lift gate in the center. So that center console I was talking about, this has the power center console, so we can actually hit that button, it'll slide right on back. Now, this, let me get the keys out of here. This slides forward, so we still have an armrest, but the idea behind this is it makes those cup holders much more useful for the rear seat, as well as you do have a little hidden storage compartment down here for whatever you don't want everybody to know. The center does lift up with storage there. Now, speaking of that giant sunroof, let's go ahead and open the shade. So everything in front of the black bar right here opens, slides, tilt, does all that. The rear section back there is just stationary glass. So let me know what other questions you have. Of course, I do have both keys for it. I'm sorry I did forget to mention that. But let me know what questions you have, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.